Hi all, this is Param. In this video is part of the again anomaly detections. Okay, for the anomaly detections, we can give the data through the data feeds, right? We are giving the data through the data feeds. Okay, so obviously we have seen one of the tips in my earlier videos, pre-aggregated data as a input to the anomaly detection jobs. Okay, so if we are doing pre-aggregations, pre-aggregation data means that aggregations happening, aggregation distributed to along with all the data nodes. Okay, not only machine learning node. Otherwise, what will happen? Data has to be fetched to the data has to be traveled to the machine learning node. There we will do aggregations or whatever we want. Okay, on the data. Instead of that, okay, if you are using the pre-aggregated data or pre-aggregated feed, okay, that aggregations happened distributed to all the data node. So only the aggregated data is pulled is pushed to the machine learning jobs. Okay, so this is what we are going to see. So obviously we know the benefit, right? So obviously the machine learning node get lot of benefit. Okay, that means the data node will do the heavy lift to that machine learning node. Okay, so we have seen that one of the tips, okay, to improve the performance of machine learning jobs using the pre-aggregated data. Okay, that is fine. Okay, so pre-aggregated data means how it will be identified. Okay, so very simple. Summary underscore count underscore field underscore name value, if it is has some null value, I will show the demo now. Okay, if your job has this field as a null value, as a null value, that means this anomaly detection jobs going to use the aggregated data. Okay, fine. Okay, so aggregated data means what are the aggregation can be used? Of course, Elasticsearch support lot of aggregation, right? Even that could be bucket level aggregation, that could be metric level aggregation, could be pipeline aggregations. Okay, but only few of them are supported from each category. Okay, for max from the metric aggregation, derivative from the pipeline aggregation, data histogram from the data histogram, or composite from the bucket aggregations. Okay, okay, similarly, so okay, so for each category only few type of aggregations are supported. In fact, term also, okay, supported by the supported for the pre-aggregated data. Okay, okay, so this pre-aggregation may be part of the job definition itself, or we can define separate data feed separately and the machine learning separately. So we can associate data feed to the particular jobs. Okay, that is syntax facility. Okay, that is for modularizations. Okay, nothing else. Fine. Okay, so as I told you, okay, so it support only the date histogram. Okay, any aggregation that has of course index, there is some missing, I mean some changes are there. Usually what is now in normal aggregation we will use aggregate. Okay, but here we are using aggregations, full word. Okay, I will show them. Okay, so either, so now what is now what are aggregation we can use? Either data histogram, data histogram means obviously this should be time field or date time field, something like that. Okay, so data histogram we can use, that is packet aggregations, or composite aggregations with the max as a first aggregations. Okay, okay, this is one options. Okay, I can give some other color, right? Okay, let me try some other colors. Yeah, good. Okay, so it support only the date histogram or composite aggregation. Okay, with max is a max as a first aggregation. Okay, composite means it can be many, right? That is for composite, right? So it can be many. Okay, or it can be single packet aggregation with the first sub aggregation use the data histogram. So basically what is now the between the between the data histogram or composite histograms. Okay, okay, if it is very simple, we can simply depend on the data histograms. If there is some complex, or if you want to do some terms aggregation, or if you want to do some filtering, okay, filter aggregation, something like that. Okay, filtered aggregation, so then that times we have to consider about the composite aggregations. But one thing, composite aggregation may support some extra feature, but it similarly it incur the resources as well. Okay, Oh, okay, fine. So that is what about the supported aggregation by the data feed of in my machine learning jobs. Okay. Now here I can say these are some of the aggregations. Okay. So aggregations with the nested terms. Okay. Okay, say of course we are using aggregations, okay, that use the terms, okay, but for them plot is not created. Okay, plot means, you know, right, that is that, so that you can view your output in the anomaly detection and the anomaly detection and explorer. Okay, so sorry. Okay, so this is a limitation. Okay, I would say it's a limitation. Okay, this is support. Okay, what it support? What happened? What happens? Yellow color. Let me change it to the black, or blue. Blue, is it fine? No. Font color na matana. Say blue. Okay, apply. Yes. Okay, it support. It's a limitation. Okay, so it is a limitation or a disadvantage. So let's put the limitation. Okay, now aggregation interval. Yeah, this is another limitation. Okay, aggregation interval must be it should not we cannot give that more than, yeah, I mean it's more than a week. Okay, you cannot aggregate by monthly, you cannot do. Okay, so you can aggregate the duration, right, interval, we will say interval, right, it could be a weekly or day wise or hour wise, something like that. Okay, or weekly or below to the weekly. Okay, so this is also limitations. Okay, then interval, yeah, this is very important. Okay, the interval of aggregation, right, it must be divisible by the frequency of the data feed. What is the frequency of data feed? Every 1 hour or every 2 hours, something like that, right, that has to be okay, that is the frequency, right. How often the data feed going to run? Okay, how often data feed going to run? Not, that is not bucket span. Okay, bucket span, but mostly bucket span, frequency, everything we will say the same. But I am saying, okay, so if it is aggregation, you could use the aggregation also almost the same. That's what. So almost 3 value. Okay, so 3 value should be the same. 3 value should be the same value. So the 3 parameters should be the same value. Okay, so this is a limitation again. Okay, now now aggregation name must be, yes, this is a limitation. Okay, so for everything we give the aggregation name, right. Okay, the aggregation names we can give randomly. Okay, but it should match the field names. Okay, so obviously this is also limitation. So these are the limitations we should keep in mind, or rules, you can say limitation or rules. Okay, you should keep in mind while writing the aggregation for data feed. Okay, custom categorization jobs cannot be use aggregation jobs. You know what is a categorization jobs, right? I mean classification jobs, I think. Okay, so not classification is something different, right? Categorization jobs cannot be use the aggregated data feeds. Okay, so this is limitation. Okay, now these are the 2 tips I would say for count and rare analytical function. Of course, you know, right, there are a lot of analytical functions are there. Okay, where is that? Let me show you. Where is it? Yes. What happened? Okay, so there are a lot of functions. Come on. Okay, there are a lot of functions are there. These are the functions used to be the detectors. Okay, if these function, let me go here now. Okay, if we are using metric and some analytical function, interval should be 10th of packet span. What is it? So let's say if the packet span is 1 hour, with the packet is a tips, I would say it's tips, right? Yes. Okay. Okay, if the metrics and some analytical function if you are using, the interval should be 10th of, if it is 1 hour, then you can give the 10 minutes. Okay, that is a one tips. Okay, another tips. Okay, if you are using count or rare functions, okay, in the detectors, then the interval should be the same as a packet span. So packet span and the interval, okay, should be the same span. So you know what is the interval? you know what is interval is aggregation value period, packet span is amount of data to be treated as a packet. Okay, that's what. Okay, now we know that. Okay, so now we know that there are two aggregation types. Okay, aggregation types are there. Okay, sorry, that we can use the aggregated data for the faster. Okay, but with this limitation, with these tips, we can consider if it is possible, you can use. Obviously, you will get the performance. Okay, obviously we will get the performance benefit. So that is what important, right? We will get the performance benefit. Okay, but when we have to use the composite data histogram, or when we have to use the composite aggregations. Okay, but there are some use cases there that can be achieved by using composite aggregation, but for other stuff we can depend on the data histogram. That's it. Obviously it support only these two types, right? Okay, then among these two, which one has to be used? By default you can use the if there is an ordinary requirement, you can use the date underscore histogram aggregation. But if there are some use cases are there, I will tell you that some kind of, if you are using terms, okay, so okay, or if you want to use some filtered aggregations, okay, so in that case you should go for composite aggregation. But for composite aggregation also there is some limitations. Okay, okay, so I will show the demo. Okay, for the composite aggregation also there is a demo. So there is a limitations. Okay, for what is now the first, okay, the for composite aggregations, okay, there can be many, right? We can have many aggregations. Sorry, many aggregations we can use. Okay, sorry, many type of aggregations we can use. Okay, but among them, among these source, the first one, okay, the first one should be the date histogram. So again, you know something, date histogram can be used as a without a composite aggregation, or date histogram date histograms used instead of the composite aggregation, right? Let me repeat. Date histogram used without composite aggregation, or date histogram used inside of composite aggregations. Okay, so that is the limitations. Okay, okay. What happened? What is it? What happened? How come? I don't know what happened exactly. Okay, let it reload. It's anomaly detection, right? Where is the tips? Here is the tips. Okay, so right, obviously in this video we are seeing about one tips. Okay, using aggregated data and what are the in and out of the aggregation data. I will show demo as well. Okay, then okay, so date histogram field must not be sorted in the descending order. Okay, in the descending orders. What is that? It's a limitation. Okay, come on. Okay, it's a limitations. Okay, and pipeline aggregation. Yeah, one more thing. This is a limitation again. Pipeline aggregation may not work with composite aggregations. Okay, yes. So if you want to use that, then you have to stick to with your data histogram. Okay, then but what is the use case? Okay, so this is what use case. Okay, use case of composite aggregations. Okay, composite aggregation optimized for match all range filters. Okay, other type of the query if you are using it's inefficient. Okay, so if you are using match all or range filters, then we can consider about the composite aggregation. Of course, if you are using term aggregation also, you can consider about the composite aggregations. Okay, okay. So these are the theory. In fact, okay. Now I will show the demo. In fact, okay, okay. Where is my postman? So here we are, as we are seeing that, right, histogram, right? Sorry. We are the purpose of this topic is what is use aggregated data, right? So here you can see that. So how the jobs summary underscore count underscore field underscore name has some non-value. Non-null value means, so this job use the what, aggregated data, right? So how we are going to define here? So this is what here we are using the aggregation. Okay, in the normal aggregation it start with the AGGS, but here you can see that aggregations. Okay, so here we are using a data histogram. Okay, data histograms. Okay, obviously data histogram field. Okay, the time zone is a must. So fixed interval. So 360 seconds. Okay, so that's that we have set some of the tips as well. Okay, how it has to be either a tenth of the packet span or equal to the packet spans. Okay, so that those tips also we have discussed. Okay, so that talks about this only. Okay, fixed intervals. Okay, so this is how it will be aggregated first. Okay, in that aggregations we are using the max. So max is just what is among this each aggregations. Time has what is time field should which document of field called time is as maximum value, that is what taken. The second thing is the name of the aggregation and the field name should be the match. Okay, and second thing is airline within that. Okay, so airline and here. So here we are using terms aggregation. You got it right? Yeah, terms aggregations we can use here. Okay, then another aggregation called response times. Okay, we are using the average of response time. Okay, you can see the name of the aggregation, the field name same. So that's what, this is what the sample about the data histogram. Now composite. So for some of the case we have to go for composite, right? Okay, now here you can see that aggregations. Okay, here you can see the composite. So size is important. Okay, size is important. It will say the number of sources has to be used. Okay, so here you can see source is array. Okay, as I told you, one source must be data histogram, right? One must be data histogram. Obviously, you can see that data histogram it is there. Okay, and other is, but other one is also there here, but this is terms. Okay, if you want to use the terms, you can use the terms. Okay, so you have seen right, terms has been used both plain data histogram as well as composite data histograms. Okay, okay, that is fine. Now other aggregations. Okay, so from on the each packet. So max and response times it seems. Okay, then nested aggregations. Okay, for if you are using nested aggregations, you can use the okay, you can also use nested aggregation. I will tell you this is a top level aggregation. Okay, this aggregation does not have histogram, right? You know, yes, but here it start aggregation is a data histogram. This is not composite. Okay, it is nested. Okay, aggregation timestamps. Okay, here what is now nested aggregation means what? Nested aggregation means what? It uses the aggregation value used by the another aggregation. That's what here. Okay, here I am just calculating average of this one, based on this packet. Sorry, based on this packet, right? Okay, now that value used here to the derivative is a pipeline aggregation, right? So we are giving the pipeline aggregation. Okay, so how to derivate from this average. Okay, then single packet aggregation. So obviously there is a packet. Okay, single packet aggregation will be that is derivative data histograms. Okay, in parallelly, that is what parallelly or nested, that's what matter. Okay, so parallelly you can see that aggregations are there. So only one packet right now. Okay, only one packet. Here nested aggregation also I think there is only one packet, right? Yeah, here also there is that we have only one packet. But composite if we have two packets, multi packet we can say. Composite has two stuff, right? Similarly, that's what. Okay, okay, single packet aggregations. Okay, this is very simple. Okay. So this is how we can use the aggregated data as a feed to the machine learning jobs. Okay. Then some of the things I have to cover based in from the documentation perspectives. Okay, I have covered all the limitation. Okay, your things. Okay, now you can see that aggregations instead of UGs. Okay, I have explained all the stuff. Okay, so basically what is now it support three type of aggregation. Either one is composite data underscore histogram or composite. Composite again you must have the data underscore histogram, otherwise it will not work. Okay, okay. Then single packet aggregation we have seen. Aggregation that feed. Okay, so that is fine. It's very simple certain things. Okay, you don't want to confuse. So that's what basically there are three type of. One is single packet aggregation with the data histograms. Okay, so top level aggregation data histogram or top level aggregation with the composite. So, there are three type of aggregations are supported by the aggregated data feed. Okay. So, there must be either one data histogram or composite, that is what. Okay. For time zone it must be specified by default value is UTC. Okay. Then here is a factor. Okay. Usually what is the key will be identified for each packet, right? That start time of each packet will be used as a key, right? Okay. The key cannot be used for the key cannot be used for aggregation in the data feed. However, they need to know the time series of the last records. Okay. That is fine. Okay. Otherwise you have to restart the something. Okay, that's what they are saying. Okay. Yeah, you can specify the term aggregation which you create the bucket with different fields. Yes. Okay. If you want the terms, we have seen, right, terms aggregation we used in fact for both data histogram and as well as composite. Okay. Okay. And the negativity of the term aggregation, what it will give only top 10. Okay, it will give only top 10s. Okay. If it is beyond, it will be if it is there beyond that term aggregation, you go for with the composite aggregations. Okay. That's what, sir, that's what. Okay. Again one more thing. Okay, there will be a limit for term aggregation, right? So, number of terms 10,000 here. Okay, by default value, I think this is a default value. Okay, yeah, it's a default value. Yes, good. Okay, by default value terms aggregations is 1000, 10,000. Okay, if here the cardinality of this is beyond 10,000, it will create a circuit exception and it will throw out. In such a case, what is safeguard? Use the composite aggregation. Okay. Okay. So, that is all about the aggregated data feed that used by the anomaly detection jobs. Okay. So, this is how you can obviously the thing is only you can use only two type of aggregation, either directly top level data histogram or one of the child of the composite aggregations. Okay. So, that is how these are the aggregation only can be possible to use aggregate the data for the data feed. Okay, I hope you will like the content. Okay, if you like the content, please like my videos, leave the comment, subscribe my channel, share with your friends. Thank you.